Welcome back. Today we're on to another tool, and this is an invaluable tool that I use with my students pretty much on a weekly basis. This is often how I start my sessions when I'm working with students. It's called the systems check. So the purpose of the systems check is this. Whether or not you know it, you have several systems that you're using or that you aren't using that help you to navigate school. Now, the more conscious you are of your systems, the more aware you are of what they are, the better you can sort of isolate where your problem areas are and address those systems. So if that's all confusing right now, don't worry, I'll explain everything to you. But essentially think of it this way. School is made up of several systems. You have to manage several of them. When you're not aware of how you're managing them, school is harder. When you're aware of them, it's easier. So I'm going to show you how to break it down. The way that I use this is I have small sheets of paper about this big with a systems checklist on it. So when I'm seeing a student, I pull out the checklist and I sit down with them and I say, all right, how's this going? How's that going? And we talk through things to find out the areas that they need to work on the most. And for you, what you can do, I made this so easy for you. What you can do is snag it right off of the post here. Take the systems checklist, you can copy and paste it, or you can download it to your computer, put it on Google Drive or Word or whatever you like, tweak it how you like it, print up a few copies and stick them in places where you use them. For example, you might want to have one stuck on your desk. You might want to have one in your planner. Just figure out some places where you're going to see it, because this is something you'll want to refer to often, probably once every week or two, just to overhaul your systems and make sure everything's going smoothly. First thing I ask about when we're talking about systems is the foundations. If you want to be a strong student and have control of your life and not feel like you're swimming upstream trying to play catch up all the time and feel like you're getting grades that you're capable of, but not have to put in extra effort, especially on things that you're not very interested in, but you really want to do well, the foundations are key. Now, the foundations are not easy. They include sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Okay? Sleep, especially if you're a teenager or a college student, is very hard. And if you're a middle school student, you're probably starting to want to stay up later. And when you have to be in high school and wake up at 6 a.m., or I have one student who's waking up at like 4:30 in the morning to go to practice, that is really hard. You need sleep. Your brain needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So it's very important to get restful sleep. Is your sleep restful? Nutrition. We live in a world, unfortunately, right now where there are so many processed foods that really affect the way our body feels and the way our brain functions. There's a lot of refined sugars and carbohydrates and things that really cloud the brain. And if I had one bit of advice that I could give every student I work with, it would be to cut out the sugars. Cut out bread, rice, pasta, and sugars, any processed sugars. You can eat fruit, vegetables, meats, nuts, seeds, but if you can cut out processed foods, you will notice such a difference. Within 2 weeks, you'll notice a complete difference in how you sleep and how you feel and how you think. I know it's very, 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 very challenging. I've struggled with this for years. It's hard, but it's powerful. But I always ask about what people are eating because it's important. Finally, exercise. You must move your body. I get particularly a lot of teenage kids who have basement bedrooms, who sit in the basement all day long. They're pale and thin, and they're playing video games all day long. They're not interacting with people, and they're not moving their bodies. And you can just sort of see that their shoulders are starting to get hunched over. Posture is very important. Our bodies want to move. We need to be active, active, active. This is important for your whole life. Now, I know some of you are like, but I don't want to, or that's hard, or whatever. Yes, the foundations of sleep, nutrition, and exercise are not easy, but they're very important foundations to always be working on. Don't worry about perfection. Just remember those 3 things. Be working on it. It affects every single area of your life. So next, I look at, actually this is later on the list, but I look at if their tech is optimized for them. So a lot of times I'll get them set up with, for example, the Google Chrome browser, And what we'll do is we'll make it so that the bookmarks remain on the bookmarks bar, and we'll bookmark all the teachers, the school, the online grading program if there is one. So all of those things are bookmarked. Everything useful, and Wolfram Alpha, a math program I use a lot, those are all bookmarked right there. And the other thing is that, as you know, it's very easy to get distracted by whatever rabbit hole you choose to go down, whether it's Minecraft, Facebook, texting, or whatever. So optimizing technology might be turning off the phone or turning it into airplane mode when you're trying to focus. But it also, in terms of the browser, like Google Chrome, using an app like Stay Focused or Self-Control, those are two great apps that will block any websites that you tell it to block for a predetermined period of time. So if you want to work on homework for 2 hours and you want to block your distracting websites for that time, when you optimize your tech, you want to get one of those blockers so that you can do that and honor that time for focus. So there's different ways to optimize tech to make it easiest. Google Drive, too, is a great one to have come up. Your backpack. So when we're doing the systems check, a lot of times we'll check the backpack and do the backpack overhaul, which I've already discussed in one of these videos. We'll also check the planner and update the planner. And what that means is that we'll generally rip out any pages that are not necessary. So a lot of times we'll rip out pages from the past. We'll rip out pages from perhaps July and August if school's out at the end of May. We might rip out the pages in the back of the planner that are never looked at or used. Thin out the planner, get it down to its bare necessities. Cross off all the days in the planner that are gone and update it, and look at the upcoming week and try to write in everything that's coming up. So we'll really work to update the planner during the systems check, because that's one of your systems. Then we'll look at workflow and routines. That's a system. What is your workflow? Do you have a routine? When you're sitting at your desk or wherever you do your homework and studying, do you actually have a workflow, a way that you like to work, where you sit down, get prepped, look at your planner, begin your work, take a break, work on your work some more, take a break, whatever your workflow is? Do you have a workflow that you've actually thought about that works for you? Or do you kind of let your workflow be really distracted and really interrupted by a lot of things? You need to really think about how your workflow works for you so that you're not swimming upstream all the time and being more stressed out. Routines. Routines for work and homework. What time do you do your homework? Where do you do your homework? What's your routine? What's your routine for eating? What's your routine for sleep? Do you have a routine for sleep? Do you have a routine to wake up and start the day with positive energy? And so what are your routines? So those are other systems that we look at. We look at grades. So most of my students have online grades. So one of the checks that we do is we'll check the online grades and we'll make a list of anything that needs to be addressed, whether it's incomplete, missing, if the grade is not where you want it and you want to raise the grade or whatever. We look through it very carefully and do that about once every week or two. Advocacy. This goes with the grades. If you find something that's not where you want, you need to advocate to teachers. This is very hard for my students, and if this is hard for you, that's okay. A lot of students don't want to approach the teacher, especially if there's a personality conflict. But advocating for yourself, going to the teacher, or writing a proactive advocacy email is really powerful. And teachers notice. They see that you're putting forth effort and they give you the benefit of the doubt, and they're often very willing to help you, even if you think they're not. Teachers, when you show initiative, they really respond to that. And when you're advocating for yourself and you're writing an email, if you CC that to somebody like a parent or the school counselor or somebody, that can often help the teacher be more supportive. So you have to advocate for yourself. It works, trust me, it's very important. But anyhow, that's one of the systems we check. Do you need to advocate? Another check that we do is, how's it going with your relationships? With family, friends, and with yourself? Are they as healthy as you want? Is there anything that's not working for you? Do you need to end any relationships? Do you want to begin new relationships and make new friendships? and how do you maintain relationships that you already have in a healthy way. So everybody's got unhealthy baggage that they deal with. The question is, how do we work on that? So checking that out and actually asking yourself, where's my energy going with these people? And is it where I want it to be? And then what's stressing you out? Often I'll ask my students, what is your biggest stressor in life right now? And they'll give me an answer, and that allows us to know, okay, cool, we have something to work with. What can we do to make this better? So that's another check. And then finally, the last check that I do, and I do this really with more mature students who are able to think on this level. And most of my students, for some reason, I have very deep kids that are really intelligent, deep thinkers that think a lot about life. And this is a great one. We look at beliefs. In particular, we look at what beliefs do you hold that are called limiting beliefs. A limiting belief is a belief that holds you back, like a belief that I can't do it, I suck, I hate this, I'm a failure. So when I was a student, my limiting beliefs, my major limiting belief was I'm a failure and I can't do this and I don't care. So I used the default of I don't care to help reinforce my belief that nothing mattered and that I could just keep going on and not trying and not working at things. And that kept me stuck. And now I try to have frames or beliefs. A frame is like the way you look at things or the glasses that you look at life through. I try to have frames or beliefs or defaults or mindsets that are what are called growth mindsets or abundance beliefs. Beliefs that are not limiting, beliefs that I can do anything I want. And I am very, very honest with you when I say this. I don't care who you are watching this, you can do anything you want in this life. People, we all do have these opportunities. The world is so full of opportunity. Now, when you have limiting beliefs, it looks like you don't have many opportunities, and it looks like you're going to set yourself up for failure, and you will fail at times. You'll fall on your face, but you have to get back up. You can create, build, do anything in life. Of course, education is not perfect, but you want to get out of education what you can so that you can craft your own life, your lifestyle, to have the life you want, a life with purpose and meaning and joy and peace that you're able to fill with things that you love, to spend the time in your life the way you want to. You can do this. I 100% believe that. I know that because I was able to turn my life around from a place where I didn't feel like I could. I felt like a hopeless failure, and I was able to completely change my beliefs. It took hard work, and it took time, and it took getting help from people, but I was willing to do anything to change my life, and it works. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So, but working on those beliefs and looking for growth mindset and abundance beliefs rather than limiting beliefs in a fixed mindset that says you can't change, that's what you need. So when you're doing a systems check, you're going to look at all these things. You don't have to go super deep with them every time. It's a quick check to see where you want to focus your energy. So again, you're going to print it up, look at it once every week or two and say, how are my foundations? How's my sleep, exercise, and nutrition? Is my tech optimized so that I'm spending less time on homework and I have more time for myself and my fun and self-care and friends and family? Is my backpack optimized? How's that system working for me? How's my planner system working for me? How's my workflow system working for me? How are my routines working for me? How are my grades? Do I need to advocate for myself? How are my relationships working for me? And do I need to change anything there? How's my stress level? And do I need to do anything to change that? And are my beliefs optimized to really help me have the best life that I can have? So that is the systems check. I'm really glad that you're here watching these videos. I hope these help you to have tools that are really going to help you have an awesome life and a better school experience. And I will see you soon. Be well. Take care.